What's going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we will be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as XRP to US dollar. As always, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications. So just a quick update, I was not able to make a video yesterday due to traveling. I was traveling back from college to my hometown to pick up my new car. I actually was delayed because the train that I was on, the Amtrak train, collided into an 18-wheeler. It was a very, very, very big accident that happened with the train that I was on. Pretty wild. I have it all recorded, and I'm making a YouTube video, and I'm uploading it onto my personal channel. But basically, it turned my 7-hour trip into a 15-hour train ride. So I'm sorry for being a little bit tired today, and I'm sorry for the video quality and stuff. I'm just going to use my MacBook instead of using a green screen and lighting. But I'll be back and making better videos on Tuesday because I'll be back up. But otherwise, just enjoy the video and let's get right into it. So we're going to be talking about, like I said on the title, we're looking at ascending and descending triangles that are forming within Litecoin and Bitcoin. But first, before we start that, we're looking at the coin market cap, and you can see the market cap is 201.4 billion, 24-hour volume 9.3 billion, and then a Bitcoin dominance of 53.9%. So yesterday or 2 days ago, we were looking at a Bitcoin dominance of around 52.4, so we're up around 1.5%. So we're clearly seeing altcoins being affected quite a lot more than Bitcoin itself. We're seeing a very low 24-hour volume, 9.3. I don't think I've seen it break below 10 billion in a long time. Market cap is 201.4 billion, so that is not too bad. We're kind of higher than where we were last time we've looked. If not, we've stayed the same. You could see a decent amount of consolidation within the markets. 1, 2, 3, 4, where kind of 5 out of the 10 cryptos are pretty much flatline, not really seeing much movement at all, if any. You guys can also see we're seeing a lot of kind of consolidation. Most of the coins right now in the top 10 are not moving at all. 0.3%, 0.8, 1.5 is the biggest one, 1.6, 0.7, you know, in the 0.4, nothing really above 1%. So we're kind of seeing the sideways trading, and you can see what happened after that massive fall that we took within the whole market, even on the Dow Jones and the S&P 500. We're kind of flatlined out right now. We're kind of in some sort of consolidation point where we're just trading sideways. It's a very interesting movement. I did want to show you guys Bitcoin and Litecoin's graph, and then we'll wrap things up with XRP, and we'll call it a day. Otherwise, let's look at Litecoin 53. You guys can see we are moving up slightly. What's interesting to note is I did draw on some sort of ascending triangle. So yes, we did break bearish, but we are heading back up. You can see an ascending triangle is forming. Within Litecoin, you can see the graph right here. We're in some sort of ascending triangle. Do you think it's going to break bullish from here? Do you think we're going to break bullish and head right back up to 55? Truly, I am like a short-term bullish in the terms of us moving back up to around $55. You can see we are slightly heading up. There's some resistance here that we're facing. You can see that in the past we have tried to climb above that $55. Sorry, that 53.39 line, that resistance line, but we're having a lot of trouble breaking bullish from that. You can see there's a lot of higher pressure pushing us down. But you can see we're kind of coming to an end of this small ascending triangle in the 4-hour. You can see beautiful relative strength index. We're right at 42, so plenty of potential to move us upwards and into that $55 range that we're really trying to shoot for, and, you know, eventually retesting our high-low MMA. You can see a lot of suppression that we've had in the past, which was very interesting. And then we had that retracement back down and then a huge bearish break all the way down. But it's weird that the whole market itself was impacted by this movement, which is very interesting. You can see Bitcoin also kind of retraced back down, but we are still theoretically so there's a lot to talk about with Bitcoin, actually. We did break bearish from this symmetrical triangle. You guys can see this is quite unfortunate, but you can see we kind of got caught up at an old support. We do have support at around $6,200. You can see in the past here we broke lower than our higher lows in previous times, so that is a bearish break. You can see the resistance that it had right at its downtrend right here. A lot of resistance here. You can see our previous support at 62 is where we're kind of finding the most support. So there's a good chance we're going to trade out sideways, and then we could potentially break this massive descending triangle on Bitcoin's, you know, 4-hour and daily charts. You know, if I just zoom out right now, you guys can see what exactly it is that I'm referring to. So unfortunately, it seems like, you know, the descending triangle that we've drawn sorry, the symmetrical triangle that we've drawn. So you can see here we have A, B, C, D, E, and we seem to have broken bearish from the top, where point E is. And you can see we kind of found some sort of support right down here, which is holding on. So this is and could potentially be our lower support. So I'm just going to delete the the Elliott wave now that we kind of know where we're at. But you can see this could potentially be a descending triangle. So you can see, I'm going to delete this line too now that that's out of the way. So right here, you can see what I'm referring to. So this is the descending triangle at the top. We're pretty much trying to find our bottom support. You can see where we've had this support in the past, here, here, here. You can see we're kind of at that point right now. Are we going to retrace back up, or are we going to trade sideways here and could potentially break bullish from there? Pretty much what we're trying to do with Bitcoin is find the bottom. We're trying to find that bottom level. If it's not here, it's most likely down here at 5,800. I know a lot of people are very, very, very worried in the fact that are we going to break below $6,000? I know that's a very key support for a lot of people in kind of that mentality. 6,000 being that number it is a huge mental barrier and a mental block. So if we do manage to break bearish from that, that's going to be huge for Bitcoin and Litecoin. But we are holding support quite well here. I do think we're going to trade sideways, move out into this level, kind of 6,200, kind of stay here. And we could potentially break bullish and kind of move up slightly at 6,370, facing the top resistance right here, you know what I'm saying? Trade sideways, trade right here, and we could break through. We're really looking for that breakthrough and retracing back up to our high-low MMA on the daily. I really think that's the next play Bitcoin is trying to do. Yes, you can see the resistance right here that we faced on the downtrend. You can see it's still very, very, very strong. So truly the next thing it's going to do is try at this level and try to hit, its descending triangle once again, hit that top resistance and try to break through it again. We'll see if it has much luck next time, but after we keep attempting this, eventually one time it is going to break bullish. And you can see that effect that it's having with Litecoin, that ascending triangle that's forming. So I do think we could potentially break bullish from here. Plenty of potential on the RSI. A retracement back up to at least $55 is, I think, well planned out. Very kind of similar to Ethereum. Ethereum just trading sideways. Very interesting that it's just been sideways trading. Some move was bound to happen, like we've been talking about within the markets. These top 3 or 4 blue chip cryptocurrencies, that sideways trading that we're seeing was eventually going to lead to some sort of big movement, whether it was bullish or bearish. That's what we were trying to figure out. It is very possible that bearish moves can happen, and this is a not sustainable in the price range. So this is a not sustainable thing. For anyone to say that crypto is stable is very weird, and for crypto to be stable is very weird. So to see just a sideways movement is very concerning. The fact that we could, yes, break bullish like we were anticipating, or a bearish movement like we've now seen is very possible, but these movements are kind of noticeable. It's just whether or not we move up or down in terms of where that price is. But seeing sideways trading is definitely a sign that some movement is bound to happen. Lastly, XRP. As you guys can see, a lot of resistance here. We did manage to break bearish from the high-low MMA. You can see we're kind of retesting or trying to retrace back up to our high-low MMA on the daily. You can see we're at around 44 on the relative strength index, 43 if that. Sideways trading happening. We are kind of retesting our high-low MMA. We did it on yesterday's candle. It seems like today we're trying to do that again. We did go back to support at around 41 cents, 42 cents. So that is kind of nice. XRP doesn't look too bad. These are pretty good levels to be buying into XRP at right now, and I would do so myself. And then we could see some sort of resistance when we start to hit this green band right here. But we could manage to break, out of that high-low MMA, or at least retest that red band at around, I'd say 48 cents. So definitely a good coin to keep in mind and watch out for. But otherwise, that's going to sum up the episode for today, guys. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Like I said, we're going to do the giveaway at the end of the week. I'm just going to figure out when exactly the winners. So definitely stay tuned. I will be uploading a video on my personal channel about that major accident that happened on the train. If you guys haven't heard about it, it's the Amtrak one that happened in Syracuse, I think. Wild story. I'll talk about it later on a personal channel. Got to catch up on some work. Definitely catch up on some sleep. I've been up since like 5. I think I went to sleep at like 6 a.m. So I'm running off of like 4 hours of sleep. But I'll see you guys in tomorrow's episode. Peace.